Hello everyone and welcome back to the second episode of the tutorial where we are creating a Python logger in object-oriented programming. And last time we managed to get this all set up. If we currently run it, nothing will happen, of course, because we've only got this in here. We haven't actually started using it. So we are getting there. We've got all the utility stuff up and running and we've got everything ready to go. We just need to actually start writing the core logic of the logger itself now. So let's get started, shall we? So the first thing we're going to do is create the functions for fatal, error, warning, success, info, debug, and trace messages. So we're going to go below here and we're going to type def fatal and message, which will be an str. And then in here, we simply want to do if self.log level.value is greater than log level dot low. And what this does, why is that not working? Oh, because we want to return. Is this going to work? Doesn't like it, does it? Oh, I see why. Dot value on the end. There we go. Okay, so what this is doing is it's checking if the current log level is greater than log level low. If it is, then we don't want a log fatal. It means that it's outside of our log level scope. So we just want to return out of the function and do nothing. Otherwise, though, self.__log, which is going to be our private log function, which will handle all our main core logic, will be _log type dot fatal and message like that. Okay, now we can kind of copy this and just repeat it for error. Just make sure for error it's going to be low again. Yep. Warning, it's going to be medium. And this will be warning. So make sure that is correct. The reason it's medium for warning is because we want it to only show when we actually have greater than the medium log level. And then success will be low, I believe. No, high, sorry, high. It's the opposite way. High. Success like that. Awesome, fantastic. Then we simply want last one, which is information. I think that's going to be the same as success. No, it's not. It's going to be all. We want it when it's lower than all, when it's greater than all, which means it's basically, yeah, it's basically just gonna only work if it's set to all or more. Okay, we want this to be information as well. Fantastic. And now we need debug. Here we can remove this, just do debug. And now lastly, trace. Now trace is going to work a little bit differently because we actually have to add some core logic in here. So I'm going to change this to trace here. And then we're going to add some stuff. So we're going to say in trace frame equals inspect dot stack and then 1. What this does is it just gets the file name and line number that was used when we actually called this trace function in the stack, in the inspection stack of Python. So now we can say file name is equal to frame dot file name and line number is equal to frame.line number, like that. Okay, fantastic. And we will go here, message, file, name, and line number, like that. Okay, that's our trace all done. So now that we have this, what we can do is we can actually set up the log function next. So let's go down here and say def __log. We'll do self there. We're going to have log_type log underscore type is going to be underscore log type, comma, message, file name is equal none, line number is equal none, like that. Okay, so by default, file name and line number will be none. So now that we have that, what we can do is we can set the header here, which is str equal to nothing, which is going to be whether it's fatal, error, all that kind of stuff. So the actual header is going to be the color along with the log type and the format that we want to actually print it to the console. Okay, style underscore ANSI, ANSI basically, str is equal to this. So this is the actual color. Okay, so this will be the header, which will be fatal, warning, error, etc. This will be the color for that. So we set them to an empty string so that we can then check later if we've set them. If we haven't set them, well, there's a reason for that, but we'll get to that later. So if log underscore type is equal underscore log type dot fatal, then what we want to do is say style ANSI is equal to backslash 033 open square bracket 1m backslash 033 open square bracket 31m. What this does is sets it to the color red plus makes it bold. So this will make it bold and the color red. Okay, that is what that will do. Style, why is this not picking up? I think it's fine. I think it'll be fine. I'm not worried at all. Okay, then we'll do header plus equals fatal like this. Okay, so that's how that will work. And we also need a colon here like that. So this will be our kind of format. So this is, why is that not being picked up? So what I think we'll do is just plus equals like that because it's not picking up, otherwise it's creating a new one. That's fine. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with pretty much all of them except for debug and trace because that's going to work a little bit differently. So I'm going to copy this. If like that. And this will be error. Instead of 31, it's going to be 35. And this will be error like that. Okay. Copy this. Do the same for warning. Warning will be 93. So here will be 93. And this will be warning. Okay. Now we'll do success. Success is going to, oops, that's not correct. Success is going to be 32. Oops. And information will be 34, like that. Okay. Now let's do the others. So if log underscore type is equal underscore log type dot debug and os dot get env debug like this is equal 1, then we know the debug mode is enabled. And if it is enabled, then we want to do this. So then we will just copy this here. And we will set it, instead of 34, it's going to be 2m. And it's going to be without this part here. So it's not going to be bold, I don't think. Let's keep it. I'm curious what it's going to look like. Okay. And this is going to be debug, like that, okay? Then we're going to copy it again. And this one's going to be a little bit more complicated. So we're also going to check if it's debug mode, but also file name is not none and line is not none, like that, okay? Then we're going to just set this to 90 there. And here it's going to be a little bit different again, because we actually want to get some other stuff. So we're going to have here plus str file name, because we're going to put here file path. And then after we've done that, we can do line number is plus str line number, like that, okay? And then plus again, just like that. And that is basically how we do the main logic of our fatal error, warning, success, information, debug, and trace messages. The next thing that we want to do is actually get the timestamp next. So this is going to be the timestamp that we actually log with our log message. So this is going to be set to date time dot now dot strf time, and this is going to be, I am just going to copy it from earlier, which is up here like that, because I don't want to retype that. There we go. Let's do that. Once we have the timestamp, we can say if header is not equal empty. So if it's empty, it means that it's not fatal, it's not error, it's not warning, it's not success, it's not information, it's not debug, and it's not trace. Ooh, I made a mistake here. That needs to be trace. Like that. It's my bad. So yeah, that's what that does. And also style underscore ANSI is not equal none. Or not equal empty string. Just checks that one of these has been checked. So if that is the case, we can do self._log, and in here, oh no, not log, underscore console. So log console, timestamp message style ANSI and header. Okay, and we also want to do self.toggle underscore file logging. Then we want to do self._log underscore file underscore logging. Oh no, just file. And in here we'll do timestamp message and header. We don't need the style because it's irrelevant for this. And we'll do if self.toggle db logging self._log underscore db. No, not initialize. We don't want to initialize it. We've already done that. Timestamp. Why can't I type today? Message and header. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, that is basically our main logger function done. This will control all of our logging, whether we log database, file, etc., and then it'll take it to each individual function. So what I'm going to do is wrap it up for today. I think this is great progress. We're going to actually work on implementing the log console, log file, and log db functions in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.